says there's people in here. There's only so many buttons on this. Yeah, should be.
There you go.
First time doing this on my phone. I'm trying to see if I can see the chats in here. Can you send a chat message and see if it shows up? There we go. Hey, Andrew. Jim, I'm starting to see the chats are showing up. This is my first time ever doing this on my phone. So, excuse me for a bit on that. So, are you guys doing tonight? Let's see if we can prop this thing up. Just got done working on machines. Figured I'd hop on for a little bit before I go inside. This is my first live stream with a phone. So, good to see you're doing well, Jim. Yeah, that. Hey, Brandon. Yeah, once I find those, if I can find those gears for that mill to get the hydraulic stuff working, everything in there looked okay. I looked at all the teeth on the, all the gears and stuff in there. Everything looked fine. There was some unfortunate. Someone had been in there before and really got on all the screws with a chisel and. Oh, that Miller welder is working awesome. I'm actually going to do a video on it this week. I just started messing with the TIG stuff for it. Yeah, if I can find those gears for the Cincinnati milling machine, it'll be fine. But I can use it as a manual mill now. So that is super cool. I've been able to find the spindle speed gears on eBay because I guess the spindle speed gears were pretty universal amongst the machines, but the table ones are have not been so easy to find. Yeah, that welder came with the pedal and the torch and all that. I haven't had a chance to mess with it, but I'm going to. I went through all the cords and stuff on it just the other day. And I actually need to go get some. I might have some welding, some filler rods. The ones that came with it were all oxidized, so I got rid of them. Hi, Frank. Oh, yeah. Saw you were in Walla Walla. If you ever would like to swing by the shop, you are more than welcome. Oh, for the gears? Yeah, the gears themselves are pretty common. It's a weird. The hub on them is a. It's not like a 6 spline. It's like a 3 big spline and 3 small spline. Hey, Hilltop Machine. So the good thing about the splines on the inside of those gears being unique like that is they're hard to confuse with other gears. But conversely, the downside is they're unique to that machine, to the Cincinnati mills. My other Cincinnati didn't have change gears for the table or anything like that. It was all. I actually don't remember how the table feed was on that Cincinnati I had. I don't think it had change gears in it. It might have. But. So yeah, we'll be able to use that mill manually. And for what I'm going to use it for keyways a lot, I'll make custom spacers for the gear cutter, or not gear cutters, just milling cutters. I cut a lot of keyways, so I'm going to set that machine up for pretty much that, and I'll be able to set it up for other jobs, but I think I have some adapters, some end mill adapters for, using it with an angle plate and stuff against it. I actually don't know what I need to pull the stuff off and see what the taper is on the spindle. But I didn't mess with any of that until I could see if I could get the table working. So getting the table working was super cool. Working manually. And I will try to find some of those gears. I can't find any examples of that style milling machine that doesn't have the access like that. Yeah, it'll be perfectly fine manual machine for what I do. With not being able to move the table in and out, obviously that was your only milling machine in the shop, that's less than desirable. But I have other milling machines, so I can afford to have one set up just for that. Hey, Ken. It's very cool for a machine I picked up, tipped over on its side in the scrapyard. They still have that big HBM at the scrapyard, but man, they messed up that table so bad. The feed screws and everything are all bent. The castings are cracked. It's heavy. Yeah, being able to cut keyways is nice. I paid 20 cents a pound for it. And it weighed 3,200. So it was $600. I was hoping to get it cheaper. But the guy that runs the scrapyard, some stuff he kind of high grades in machines he typically does. There's a guy in my area who buys all the machines from the scrapyard as soon as he sees them. So some of that stuff he bumps up 5 cents a pound and whatnot. But I'm glad I was able to snag it. Because again, here, machines never show up. When metal lathes show up, they're usually ancient, cone head lathes. So when you see a milling machine at a scrapyard or that, you pick it up because they just don't show up. The big horizontal there, that's the last horizontal that showed up within a couple 100 miles of me. And that was at an auction. There's no machines in my area. So I bought it and rolled the dice, kind of. Hope when I was there at the scrapyard, I put a crescent wrench on the knee to see if it would move, and I kicked the spindle drive to see if the spindle turned. So at least I knew that stuff worked. But it's a cool little machine. I wish I could find out what model it is. Everyone said it was a number 3. It's not. The one plate it's missing is the plate that showed what it was. William, if I can find the gears, or even I have an idea for driving them not with the original gears, then I could have the hydraulic table back and forth, or power feed table back and forth. The power up and down for the knee should work. The hydraulic pump's there, all the lines were there. The handle that engages it is broke off, so I just have to make something for that. But I would like to get it back to auto feeding back and forth, of course, because it's a nice feature to have. For what I do, it's not 100% necessary. But if I can get it. The good thing about getting the table working today was I didn't have to disable anything or take anything off or anything like that. I took that one the front plate with the shifting fork. That's what was holding it from turning. So until I get the gears, I'm going to take that shifting fork off, and I'll be able to use it manually, side to side with the table. So that is cool. Hey, Steven. Yeah, I just did a really impromptu video. I was working on the milling machine in the shop, and I wasn't ready to go inside yet. So I figured I'd hop on. I also wanted to test doing live streams with my phone. So, like, your guys' comments pop up real quick, but I can't go back and read them. So. Yes, I do need to. I need to put pics of it as much places as I can. I've looked at hundreds and hundreds of pictures of Cincinnati milling machines the last couple days, and I found one that matched it, and they had it mislabeled as a universal mill. So I would really like to be able to find specs on it. I need to do some more tweaks and stuff to it too. It has all the tags on it that show the functions for like adjusting the clutch, the power feeds for the table, the spindle speeds, the patents. There's a huge plate with like 100 patents it's under. But the one cover that's missing, which was probably on the back blade or belt cover, that actually had the model number and all that is missing. And I've tried typing in the number on the table and it doesn't come up anywhere. It's like 2FG35 something. But I'd like to learn more about it. There's a lot going on in that the need for it. It's cool. It's all hydraulic on a machine that small. I mean, that machine's only this tall. Yeah, I looked on vintagemachinery.com and I didn't see one that looked like it. That's usually one of the first places I go. ITNF logging, yes it is. Apparently, it had these big wings for catching coolant off each side. That originally would have made the machine like 2 foot wider on each side. The one I saw for sale had those. So it would have been actually, for its footprint, a very big machine. I need to see if the coolant pump and all that works. And the It has two. I want to say two hydraulic pumps in it. It has one. The other one, the lines when they unloaded it, they pinched the lines shut. So I got to rerun some copper lines. So here, probably this next week, I'm going to belt it up to a 1 horse, 120-volt motor to run the spindle, or not the spindle, the input. And see if I can get some of that stuff to work. I also need to go through the wiring on it. It surprises me it has safety switches, like the gear cover for the table feeds. Has a, when the cover's open, there's a switch in the back. So I assume that would keep it from running. Of course, I have no idea of the age of it. Hey, Gary. Besides that, the lathe headstock powered milling machine is one step away from being done. I'm gonna wire it. I got the stuff to wire the motor in. I got the hub to go on the MT5 drive thing. I need to shave it down and just weld the pulleys on it. So this weekend, hopefully the other milling machine will be ready to go. That's a good idea. Hilltop, I haven't looked at the motor plate yet. So I will definitely do that, A, because I need to wire it and replace all the wiring. Yeah, I haven't looked at that yet, so that may be a way to date it. It's in the era of the shrunken down motors. It's not like the Big LeBlond that has that 10-horse motor that's gigantic, because back then the insulation was not very good on the motors. And this is from the early 40s, I think. Yeah, I would definitely need to look at that. Actually, after this live stream, I'll probably go look at that motor. Because the patent tag on it doesn't have any dates on it. It just lists a million little numbers of the patents it might fall under. And it says Cincinnati Milling Machine Company above it. Thanks, Ken, for telling me to hit that button. If you want to send me a pic, send it to my email, which is badam485@yahoo.com. Excuse me. I'm not sure if Cincinnati still exists. They made CNC machines. So that's not terribly unrecent. I think they've probably changed ownership, I imagine, a couple times, like most of the old tool companies have. No, I haven't posted any pictures of it on groups like that. I need to. I don't have, my Facebook is just barely set up. Like I have it's basically a placeholder account. I need to get more into that so I can post pictures. I'm a member of the Practical Machinist site, and I think Home Shop Machinist. Yeah, I could probably post it on there. I don't actually read a lot of the practical machinist stuff. People are very negative about other people's machines on there. Oh, cool. Yeah, thanks for sending that. And yeah, I might be able to call Cincinnati if they're still around and give them the number. I did not set up my Facebook. I had someone set it up for me. But I I think I looked at how to share videos and stuff on it. So I'm getting better about that stuff. Yeah, I got a job going on the shaper right now, finishing the T nut for the big LeBlanc lathe, and I was messing around with tool grinds on the shaper again. I would have had the T nut done yesterday, but I've been messing around with grinds on high speed steel bits. And once you start messing around with that, you keep wanting to tweak them a bit, and then it takes all your afternoon. Steven, it's a production type horizontal milling machine. I've really been messing with my tool grinds on high speed steel for the shaper lately. That's just been kind of my thing. Especially because it's different on shapers. Mine's, yeah, same here, Hilltop. They they can be very very brutal towards people machines. Uh, the difference between shapers is like mine's an old crank style. There's hydraulically head driven ones and stuff like that. There's a difference in tool pressure and stuff between them. So I've been really messing with my grinds on tools, and just because I like using that shaper as much as I can, and it's fun to do. Mine does not cut really hard metals very well. I think it's just the nature of that vintage of shaper. And I'm sure there's a little bit of wear on it. My shaper's very early. That it has flat belt drives for the speeds. Thanks for stopping by, Ken. I need to do some repair work to my shaper vise. It has some wear on the movable jaw, so they all kick up, but this one kicks up quite a bit. So I'm gonna pull the jaw off and maybe put it in a surface grinder and shave some off the mating surfaces for the clamps underneath. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. I don't ever really use my surface grinder, and I need to start using it more. I was actually, I'm messing with the wiring on it. The person who had it before me added a switch to power his phase converter off of it. So I need to undo some of that stuff and figure out where the wires go. But yeah, I really need to finish that T-nut for the big LeBlanc lathe. I got some jobs I can use it for. I got a motor rotor coming in from it's a 200 horse vertical turbine pump motor. I need to clean up, and I don't think I need to do a keyway in it. I want to do it on the little blonde. I also am bringing in the grinder in the shop this weekend. The big 24-inch wheel grinder. And you guys will get to see it run. Then I'm gonna pull the wheels off it and take it to the sandblaster. We got a good deal if I leave it there. I see his videos suggested all the time, but I haven't actually checked any of them out. I'm a big fan of the everyday guy. Like, you know, most people are bigger than me shop wise. But the huge companies that have equipment that's really big and stuff, I don't really watch a lot of their stuff. It's people with similar sized machines to what I have and similar sized work to what I do. I watch those guys, Hilltop Machine and stuff like that, because the work they do is relatable. I watch Keith Ruckers sometimes because I like the way he restores machines. I wish I had the drive to paint and clean things as much as he does with my machines, but I just don't. It's not in me. If they function, that's what it is. But I like to watch the smaller machine channels. I like Brian's channel, Brian Block, very underviewed channel for the work he does and the machines he has. He should have over 100,000 subs for what the content he puts out. Then I watch a couple Australian guys, Max Grant. I like the stuff he does. I'm super busy because I have 2 jobs, so I don't have the time to watch many more things than what I do. So I stick to the machine channels that are the guy in his shop, the everyday worker guy that does work comparative to what I do. But I've seen some of. I have watched a few because he does do cool work. He does I watch a lot of his hydraulic stuff because I do like watching hydraulic cylinder work because I do a lot of hydraulic cylinder work. I wish I had some of the machines those people have, like his channel and some of the other ones. But my shop's in a residential area, so the machines I have, I think, are really big for the area I live in. So. We need to bring the saddle in for the 24-inch Reed Prentice this week and start doing some measuring on it. I've been meaning to do that for weeks. I finally cleared an area around it. But again, 2 weeks ago, the guy I got it from put a letter on my door. I found another coffee can full of pins and bolts and gears that I think go to that. So it's really hard to start on it when the guy I got it from keeps telling me he found parts that might go to it. So, but let me see if I can show it to you. Yeah, that guy right there. But I am dedicated to, because there's no information on that size Reed Prentice of that vintage, I have committed myself to, even if it's more war than the big LeBlanc, rebuilding it so I can document it for someone else who is going to be putting one together. And then also it would make it easy, if it is a lot more war, it would make it easier to sell if it's all together. So I don't think it's as war because the machinist I bought it from, had a very well set up shop, and he was a pretty meticulous guy, and he took a bunch of measurements, he said, before he decided to rebuild it. Because he rebuilt the 2-speed gearbox in it, the apron, I rebuilt the quick change gearbox, and he replaced all the brass or all the bronze bushings and stuff in the headstock. So I don't think he would have gone that far with it if it was a scrap iron. But having two big long lathes in the shop, especially shop my size, cuts into the walking space. Because I have the four lathes right now. The 16-inch Reed Prentice is the go-to moneymaker. I need to get on that 15-inch Hypermac because it's my only high-speed lathe that has a spindle speed over 700 RPM. I just need 2 gears for it, but I haven't needed it. But I need to get that knocked out. I got the big LeBlanc because it came up, and I needed a little more swing. Plus, all the chucks that come with the Reed Prentice will also fit this. Thanks for stopping by, Hilltop. Very much appreciated. And if any of you are watching and are not subscribed or to Hilltop Machine, and check his stuff out. Very good videos. Also check out L&R Rides too. And BS Small Engines. So yeah, we'll get the big grinder in here this weekend. That's the plan anyway. See if I can get the wheels off it. I have no idea how much those wheels are gonna weigh. They're wore down a bit, so they're 20-inch diameter by 4 inches wide. So I got my that 12-volt lift cart thing to lift them off there. Because I really do not want to drop one, because those wheels are like $1,000. But yeah, then we're going to haul it off to the sandblasters. As impractical as that 24-inch wheel grinder is, it will always be in my shop because it's so cool. I can't get rid of it. It's spooky to be next to when it's running. but it's a cool machine, and everyone loves it. It's so ridiculously big. And that machine will get, because it's going to be sandblasted, and the people who sandblast are going to primer it. All I have to do is paint it. There's really not much to it, really. So I'll paint it and all that. And it really needs face shields put in front of the... Hey, 710. It really needs face shields put in front of the wheels. The ones that came with it are all shattered and busted and broken. So I'll come up with something for that. My phase converter will start it if I spin the wheel a little bit and then kick it on. Because it has a lot, that specific motor has a lot of inrush amps. And I forget. If it's a 5 horse, I think it has a 10 horse motor on it. It might be only a 5. It's only like 1,000 RPM motor too. Hey, William. From East Tennessee. See, I got a lot of projects going on in the shop. I'm really hammering stuff out. I got the big lathe going, and the little milling machine and my valve grinder. So that was the new milling machine was my reward for doing that. I know I said I wasn't going to get more machines, but when a milling machine is laying in the scrapyard, you have to buy it. So, yeah, we'll get the bigger milling machine there going very shortly. I just got to take the drawbar thing and cut it to fit the hub adapter and weld the two pulleys to it. There's gonna be two belts that run the spindle and one belt that drives the power feed, which is that pulley right there. This is just for the table feed, and that's just for the spindle. And then I gotta fix a slight oil leak on the 100-ton press. It's dripping a little bit of oil out the bottom of it somewhere. So I need to find where that is. It's not much oil, but it drips it all the time even when it's not running. I don't live stream very often 710 because I'm typically busy. And next time I do a live stream, I'll do it on what's it called? The one everyone uses where you can add people. StreamYard. I'll do StreamYard. So I need to research StreamYard to see how to add people to the panel. I am not a computer person, but I am learning, and I will figure that out. If I can remachine and replace bearings on the final drive of Big Cat excavators, I should be able to manage StreamYard. You guys will excuse me for just 1 minute. I need to go mess with the shop heater real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. The shop is one of these split heater things, which actually does a pretty good job for a shop my size. When it gets really cold, it defrosts all the time. I think I need to check the charge in it. I haven't done that since I moved in. It actually does I think it's a mini split. It actually does an okay job, actually. So yeah, and I'm gonna pick a day and do a live stream for an hour or so. Haven't decided what day. It'll be, it might be earlier in the day, Saturday or Sunday, I have an odd number of people that watch me from Australia, so I need to figure out time stuff for that. So, not a lot of people stream earlier in the day on the weekends. So we'll see. I can't really live stream earlier on Saturday because that's when I go yard selling. And nothing comes before yard selling, so. But yeah, that's what's in the shop the rest of the week. Going to clean up that mill tomorrow. The table. We'll look at the table. So we can bring the grinder in. I got to get the bed to the Boyne Emmis lathe to the scrapyard. I've taken everything off it that is worth anything. Oh, except for the lead screw, the Acme lead screw on it, and a few other things. But I'll have it all stripped before it goes. Yeah, I'm bringing in the apron and the saddle and everything. It takes me, Brandon, when I go yard selling, I usually yard sell for about 4 hours to find the stuff I do. And sometimes it's just one yard sale that saves the whole day. Most of the ones around here are, they're baby clothes, just clothes or, knick-knacky stuff. Thankfully, there's a rural town just next to me. So it's a lot of bigger lots and old farmers and stuff getting rid of stuff. But I have to go yard selling sometimes for 4 or 5 hours to get the stuff I get. So yeah, I'm probably gonna start after the stream cleaning up the table on that milling machine. And I don't usually go in from the shop till about 11 o'clock my time. Oh yeah, my flea market here is terrible, absolutely terrible. If you want bootleg movies or the same super cheap Chinese toys, 99% of it is that. And then there's a couple guys that sell tools, but and then we do have some good swap meets in the area. We only had one this last year. I did a video of the stuff I got there. That's some good stuff. Next year they're saying there's going to be 3 or 4 again. So I'm really, or this year. So I'm really hoping to see more of those. And I don't know who was talking about it, but a buddy of mine was saying there might be a stationary engine show in the area. That'd be super cool. I used to go to one of those with my grandpa way back in the day with the big Morse Fairbanks stationary engines and stuff. So that'd be cool. I want to go to a lot more stuff like that this summer. There's actually a city not far from me that does a combine demolition derby once a year. I think it's Lind. That's True 710. Yeah, I think it's Lind, Washington. There's a combine demolition derby. So that's something you don't see every day. So. Okay, guys. I think I'm going to call it a stream. I got some stuff I want to get done before I go in and eat dinner and go to bed. I'm going to figure out a day to do a scheduled stream. So I'll do some more of these impromptu ones, like once a week or so at different times. But thanks, everyone, for checking it out. It is most appreciated. Thank you, everyone, for giving a thumbs up and stepping in and chatting and all that. I will do my next live stream. I will do through StreamYard, so I can put people on the panel. So, because as much as you guys would just like to look at me the whole time, and I can't blame you for that. It'd be nice if there were some other people here to talk to. So, okay, you guys all have a great night. Thanks for checking it out. This is Adam, Small Town Machine Shop. Yes, I will see you Saturday, Brandon.